Good Monday morning, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back, Southwest Arkansas weather here on August the 5th. Let's take a look at today's outlook and what we're going to be talking about in it. We're going to go over today's forecast, talk about the heat, and that trend's going to continue throughout the next 6 days. Looks like we'll talk about what we could see in the 6-day forecast. Also talking about what we could see in the tropics. Hurricane Debby did make landfall in Florida, but sadly that's just the beginning. Some significant to maybe even potentially catastrophic flash flooding could be on store for portions of the Carolinas. That hurricane, though, is going to stay away from us here in Southwest Arkansas, but just a little bit of an overview of what we could potentially, or what could go down in that area. But once again, welcome back, Southwest Arkansas weather. Big thanks as always to Palmer's Roofing, J&S Auto Supply, Terry's Place, Fort Smith Therapy, Tan Energy, and Nutrition for all they do to help us get this information to you guys. Make sure to check them out on Facebook and enjoy today's outlook. And once again, we upload these daily here over on the YouTube page, but make sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Now we're going to take a look at current conditions right after this. Starting off by taking a look at current conditions here across Southwest Arkansas at this current time. As of about 10 a.m. pretty much, you can see here current temperatures in the 80s across most of the area here. Lower 80s in Mena, upper 70s still in a few areas, but pretty much lower 80s Texarkana, almost already to 89 degrees. They're on their way for another warm day today. Same thing for you in DeQueen and Magnolia. These current conditions, they'll continue to keep, temperatures are going to continue to rise. Taking a look at satellite, we do have some just widespread cloud cover. That trend's going to continue throughout the day, just pretty much those little pop-up little clouds. It's still going to be sunny for the most part, but you could see a few clouds throughout the day today, but not expecting anything in terms of rainfall. Going to be a hot and humid day today. Once again, this is kind of the little brief preview to what's coming tomorrow in the rest of the forecast for this upcoming week with hot conditions. But real quickly, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the current condition, or today's forecast, here in just a minute right after this. This is a look at your current conditions currently, and the temperatures are going to continue to rise, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. So starting off by taking a look at today's outlook with today's forecasted potential highs throughout the day today, you can see a warm day in store here. Highs going to be in the mid to upper 90s, nearing 100 degrees near the Texarkana and Hot Springs area, but the general idea, 97, 96 degrees looks like a good possibility. A few areas of 98 and maybe even up to the upper 90s could be possible there, and nearing 100 degrees. Now later this week we will reach 100 degrees, and we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But once again, heat index values today, they're going to range in the upper 90s as well, and down across a few areas could reach into the 100 degree mark, nearing 105 degrees for heat index values. I think 103 could be possible down there near the Texarkana area for your heat index values, but those are kind of, they change throughout the day, so expect hot and humid conditions, and that trend continues. We get even hotter as we go into tomorrow and Wednesday, and we'll continue to monitor that closely. But taking a look at overnight lows tonight, I'm expecting sunny skies throughout the day today, and a few clouds will be possible, scattered cloud cover, but not necessarily overcast, but just scattered cloud cover, mostly sunny skies. Dry conditions look to continue throughout the next few days here, throughout this week. A dry next 7 to 10 days looks like a good possibility here. And overnight lows tonight, they're going to be in the lower 70s, lower to mid 70s, from 75 to around 70 degrees here, as you can see across the coverage area. Once again, overnight lows, they're going to be like that throughout most of the week, and we're going to continue to monitor that. We don't have any heat advisories out today. Would not surprise me as we get a little closer to tomorrow and into Wednesday. Potentially we see those heat index value or heat advisories come up. It's just going to be hot and humid. Make sure to check on neighbors, elderly neighbors. If you have any animals outside, make sure they got the care that they need. Just make sure, if you got to be outside, try to do things in the morning if it's possible, and just stay hydrated, cool the best you can. Take frequent breaks. It's going to be a hot week, but nothing that we're not used to down here in the south. But once again, As always, now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the 6-day forecast for the rest of this week and what's in store. Once again, looking like a dry week, but it's that time of year, and we'll continue to keep you updated with the newest on that here in just a moment. Taking a look at the updated 6-day forecast here through Monday, or today through Saturday, you can see hot, sunny conditions, dry conditions will be likely here on Monday. Highs will be in the mid to upper 90s, overnight lows in the mid 70s. Hot and sunny conditions, humidity will be here as dew points still continue to be just a little on the humid side across the area, with heat index values nearing or staying below heat advisory potential, or heat advisory conditions, but it'll still range from the upper 90s into the 100 or lower hundreds, right there around 103 for the heat index values today. Tuesday, though, we're probably going to see heat advisories come out Tuesday and Wednesday, as heat index values could get potentially near 110 degrees. Very hot and sunny conditions look likely. Highs going to be in the hundreds widespread across most of the area, with overnight lows in the 70s there, with very hot, sunny, dry conditions. And then as we head into Wednesday, there will be a dry cold front that tries to make its way through. We're not gonna really see the effects of that until Saturday, or till late this week. So hot and humid conditions continue at least through Thursday. We do start to dry out some, but as we do, those temperatures are going to continue to be in the 90s, a little around average for this time of year, but that's going to still continue to help our drought issues. That's probably going to start to affect what we see with that, due to just that it's going to be a dry cold front. Basically not expecting much in terms of rainfall. Have a 10% chance on Friday, but that could be taken out any moment. It's looking like it's going to be a dry cold front, and it could drop dew points though down into the 60s and 50s, and that may help bring some drier air in, but that's gonna cause that drought potential to increase there across the area and dry us out. That's the only downside to that, but we will get some relief from the humidity as we head into this upcoming weekend, but those temperatures will still be in the 90s and lower 70s, and around 70 degrees there on Saturday potentially, but hot, humid conditions there, and we do get some southwest to southern winds, and as that occurs, that may help bring some drier air in, which will allow that temperature to increase a little more, like we see on Tuesday and Wednesday. And as that occurs, though, you're still going to see some heat index values reach up to 110, because you get closer. You're getting closer to that in the air temperature. But widespread 100 degrees, just pure air temperature, looks likely, even up to 102 potentially there. As the average across southwest Arkansas there on Wednesday, and still nearing 100 degrees there on Thursday. But as we head into this Friday and Saturday, highs start to get back to around average, with mid to lower 90s looking likely there across the area, and maybe some drier air, but that's still you take what you can get this time of year. And areas that didn't see significant rainfall in July, that'll start to that'll help those drought conditions just get a little more pronounced with that drier air as we head into this weekend. So we're going to continue to monitor that closely and continue to keep you updated with that. We are going to do a live stream tonight over on Facebook to go over the updated 6-day forecast this evening as well, and talk about what we could see going on down there in the tropics, which we're going to transition next into talking about the tropics and the potential significant flash flooding that could go in the Carolinas there as well. Once again, just going to be a hot, dry week, sunny conditions with maybe a few clouds, but sunny, dry conditions, humid in some cases, or just feel like temperature is going to be up there near 110 on some of these days on Tuesday and Wednesday. Some drier air, or these dry cold fronts, will try to move through the area, and that could help bring us back down to average, which is the mid to lower 90s this time of year, but that's going to dry us out and could make drought conditions a little more on that side. We'll take a look at what that is showing in tomorrow's outlook as well, what the drought outlook is currently, or what we're currently seeing with that drought potential there over here we'll take a look at that tomorrow in tomorrow's outlook to go over what it's basically showing right now. Once again though, hot, humid conditions, dry conditions just look to continue throughout this time frame. It's that time of year, and we're going to continue to monitor it. Now we're going to take a look at the tropics and talk about what we could potentially, what's ongoing there. I don't think we see any impacts, as you can see here locally. That's going to stay off over there along the east coast, but we'll talk about that here in just a moment. Now, taking a look at the tropical outlook here, you can see it's already made landfall. Hurricane Debby has made landfall officially this morning. We'll show you what radar looked like earlier during landfall, and as you can see, we already have a lot of flash flood warnings out. Still have a tornado watch out down there across Florida, and tropical storm warnings. This is going to continue, or well, this track just literally got updated. It is now probably Tropical Storm Debby, but it's going to continue to trend across this area, across the Georgia, southeastern Georgia area, go back into the Atlantic and slow down at a slow pace and dump a lot of rainfall over this area. And we'll show you that here in just a minute at the end of this. This is kind of your regional outlook, or just nationwide little outlook here. But as you can see, this trend's going to continue to take it up into the Carolinas and end up becoming a tropical depression come later this week, by the end of this week, near the Richmond area. But it's going to be a slow mover, as you can see here. Not going to be moving a whole lot over the next few days, but it's going to continue to dump rainfall in these areas here. And here's what current radar looks like. You can see right in this area here, it is just continuing to dump rainfall and more rainfall throughout this area here. Real quickly, let's take a look at what radar looked like as this made landfall. This is going to load. It's going to take it a minute, but it should load here. You can see this was overnight, and in the middle of the day here, it was a Category 1 hurricane at the time of landfall, and as it moved over this morning, it started to make landfall, and as you can see, just a bunch of rain occurring on this, and once again, made landfall this morning with the potential of up to 80-mile-per-hour wind gusts, I think, at that time of landfall, with a lot of rain potentially being a possibility with that, and we'll show you that here in just a minute. But this is what radar currently looked like this morning as it continued to dump rainfall across the area here, and as you can see, it's continuing that trend throughout the time frame here, and that trend's going to continue. It's going to be a slow mover, and I bet you if we take a look at storm total precipitation, this is just radar estimated precipitation. Already 8 inches of rainfall has fallen according to radar in some of these spots across the Florida area here, and that trend sadly is going to continue, and we'll talk about that real quickly, briefly here before we end today's outlook. So real quickly, before we end today's little outlook, I know this is more of a regional-wide outlook, but it's still something majorly that's going on, as some significant flash flooding to maybe even catastrophic flash flooding could be on store across portions of the southeastern part of the U.S. This is the National Weather Service blend of models. This kind of takes all the models, puts them together, and kind of gives you a general potential idea of what we could see. And this is currently coming in as we speak with the data. But this kind of shows you what potential rainfall or QPF potential rainfall could be throughout the next few days. And as you go here, this is showing through at least Wednesday morning, 13 inches, and we're still getting more data in here, but potentially as of that morning, you can see 13 inches of rain potentially in that area. And if we go just a little further back and you go and just look into this time frame, it's showing potentially 20 inches of rain in that area. And taking a look at the National Hurricane Center's website, this is from the Weather Prediction Center. You can see that your eyes don't deceive you there. From Charleston down to Savannah, potentially between 20 to 30 inches of rain through the next 5 days. That's going to cause issues and potentially cause flash flooding issues. Elsewhere, you could still see 8 to 12 inches, just a general area. Flash flooding is on store, and you can read down here, rainfall. Debby is expected to produce rainfall totals of 6 to 12 inches with maximum amounts of 18 inches across portions of central and northern Florida, as well as central and northeastern North Carolina through Wednesday morning. This rainfall will likely result in areas of considerable flash and urban flooding, with significant river flooding expected across portions of southeast Georgia, the coastal plain of South Carolina, and northeast North Carolina. Carolina. 10 to 20 inches of rainfall with local amounts of 30 inches are expected through Saturday morning. This potential historic rainfall will likely result in areas of catastrophic flooding across portions of that area, and that's gonna be a rough time for those areas there, and getting that much rainfall at one time is never good. But that'll come to the end of today's outlook. We'll continue to keep you updated, with the regional wide outlook there and what we could potentially see in store for that. Once again, we're not going to see anything out of this hurricane. Hurricane season is here, and we're seeing some of the stuff from it here across portions of the southeastern U.S. I know we have family in those areas. This is just a regional wide outlook to let you know, hey, this is what's going on across the nation in terms of weather. Once again, we'll have to continue to monitor what happens with that, but we are not expecting any impacts here in Arkansas from that. It's going to be a hot and humid week, as you've seen in the 6-day forecast. And once again, as always, have a good rest of your Monday. Thank you guys very much for trusting us right here with your source for all things Southwest Arkansas weather. Make sure to check us out over on Facebook and Instagram. Follow us over there, and make sure to subscribe, like the video, and leave a comment here on YouTube. And as always, have a good rest of your Monday and have a great week.